Weiss Schwarz Club. Got Myth. You got Kaichou again.
Guys.
All right, we hit it, Kaichou. We hit game three.
In game three, we did it.
So I mean, again, this is that Christmas kind of show match, BO3 between A Choice Slime and Gate Standby Ruby. So you want to just go over a couple of last minute things to take away from this matchup from games one and two? Please go ahead and
Yeah,
watch that.
first of all, if you guys haven't watched game one and two, make sure to check that out before you this. Now that you're on game three, you guys know both players are 1-1. Uh, game one, a little just warm up game for both players. A little bit of misplacing in there. The game was super long, so they were just getting used to the matchup. Game two, though, was a lot shorter. I think uh, players are both warmed up. They know their matchups. We did see some misplays, but some of them we can't really tell they're misplays or they just don't have the card that we were talking about or the play. So that's how it is. Hopefully for game three we can see some. Now they have one game in each other. They can. How do I say this? Uh,
Well, I guess one thing that we want to see is that now that they've kind of let their hands show, right? Now there's a little less of the mechanical or the like game spaghetti, and there's going to be a little more of just okay, they're going to need to take these gambles now that they know that these options are available to the opponent, right? So this was
yeah.
something that we talked a little bit about kind of in between games, a little bit during the two games, but for Kaichou and I, we were talking about how Slime can take the early game a little slower than the Ruby. However, as we saw a little bit in game two, if Ruby can get off to that really good start early on and then force Slime to start playing from behind, it can kind of create a bigger and bigger snowball, even if you kind of lack a couple of the advantages. Because one thing that I did notice in game two was that there were not that, aside from the first turn, there was basically no standby triggers from the Ruby side.
Yeah, I mean that's like the thing you see with four standby. Also with Minami, right? So Minami can like mill out your standby, which means you're not gonna trigger them, obviously. Compared to like the choice deck where it's a Shimakaze, you can search up cards specifically and then like maybe trigger standby because there are less cards in your deck. It's just the way the deck works in the state of the game.
Yep. But while all these two go ahead and do their starting, so we'll just kind of go ahead and go through a couple of the key things. So again, we kind of talked a little bit about game two about mulligans. So Slime's looking for mainly the Millum Chaser, maybe the Climax for the choice combo, a couple of other utility pieces. Ruby also has a very similar setup where they're looking for the mill runners or the eggs. But something that Kaichou brought up during game two was that Ruby has a little more extension when it comes to what they can open with compared to Slime. You want to kind of rehash that a little bit further?
Yeah, so you did open the runner here, which is what we're trying to see. Because the runner mills too. You might mill something you like, right? So they can also play like drop salvages, ironwood, Rico salvage. So they have the option to play that because their level zero is so strong. So they can just grab zeros that die and then get it back, which is what slime can't do because they have to commit to playing cards that uh can plus you cards and then hopefully keep it. So you can keep the advantage to fulfill the 4 more condition, which right now we see they have Clean Cut and the Shizu. Both these cards uh, can plus 1, so Shizu has to pay 1 Encore on opponent's turns to live for the next turn, and then you have the Clean Cut, which guarantees the Clean Cut because it is an anti-runner, so the Ruby Runner doesn't do anything here.
Yep. So we see one hit on the direct, one cancel on the clean cut. Both players kind of going for this. I wouldn't say it's slow, more standard. I'd say that ideally, um, the the slime player wish they had the Millum Chaser in the third slot. That way they can get a little more full mileage out of it, but not too
Yeah.
much you can say or do on that. Oh, that is A Brainstorm 5 on the drop? TD
Yep,
Brainstormer here.
3+2 here. Nice card. Okay, so he puts the Mill Runner. So the one thing I don't like about putting Mill Runner in the middle is when you put a card in front of the anti-runner, you can't move it. So I just like to put cards on the side or when there's or on the back when if there's no characters. So in case your opponent has like a mill runner or an anti-runner that you don't know about, right? Because online matches, you just don't know what they play. You can just make sure you don't get cheesed by the anti-runner effect. So you have to like -1 to kill the card or something.
Just don't, oops, my hand slipped and
Yeah.
it works out. All right.
Stand by. The Neptune Adachi, which is like
Just
fine
bringing it
standby
out for the
target, I
sake of
guess.
bringing it out, I guess.
Yeah, it's a beater. It triggers one of the combo. Okay.
All right. We're seeing one Rimuru, and then
Here's here for one. So Slime this time learned from his mistake, you can say. He hits level 1 2 stock. Maybe just been lucky. Maybe he realized that level 1 stock was a true tragedy.
yep. So going into this level one, we have the Rimuru going into clock. So there will be one Rimuru that can be salvaged with a Xiang combo if he chooses to, or choiced with the trigger. Um,
So we're just seeing if he has the former condition here. Maybe a Rammus. So he does have Ricky. So now he has the option of Ricky for Rammus.
oh, that's another climax going in with the Ricky
Oh, so Ricky's for combo here, which means he does have at least triple combo or two combos in like a chunk.
Brainstormer.
Yep. He also could just already have a Rammus in hand.
Okay, if he does have the Rammers in hand, uh, he because he does have a combo in the waiting room, so I imagine you would just Rammers out the combo, put the Rammers to the back, bring out the Yep, there we go. Oh nope, there's a Brainstormer instead.
Double combo, yeah.
Double combo. There we go.
Unfortunately, the past two games, Slime player did Ricky a climax, which was just unfortunate.
There isn't too much you can say or do on that since there's no way to control what you throw from the top of the deck.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so double combo here. Uh, so he moves that there because he can't kill it until he triggers a climax, which is interesting because he could have just swung with the Ricky instead. Maybe he values the pay one to keep it on board.
ooh, that's a four.
Takes the full. Definitely not what you
So
want to see.
my guess is that because getting the memory isn't like a super high high priority, like he shouldn't necessarily be swinging with it. But my guess is that it does maintain four or more, and he could potentially get a second round of combo in this go.
Yeah, so he still salvaged a combo there. I think the first one was
He
with
salvaged
Rammus.
Ramorous in the first one, so that's a
Okay,
three.
so it didn't really matter if you had the four more because that would always give him four cards, right? The Rammus double combo.
Yep.
So he could have just won with Ricky and saved the zero she's a back row. Because now
Yep.
he has the bacon a trigger, but he's probably just gonna side it instead, and your opponent gets a +1.
Three.
Three though. If your opponent eats this though.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
and he eats it. We want to
Uh,
change game state here. Last few games we saw Slime player at 2 while RWBY was still at 1 or 0, but now the game states have changed.
okay, so going into this, what are you looking for on the Ruby side? Kind of when they fall behind, what are their kind of comeback mechanics, or like what are their ways of like restabilizing? Like we have Blake, early play healer for
Big
one.
early
We
play.
have
I personally wouldn't clock if I already have like at least double combo with the climax. Even one combo. Because if you're behind, you want to just mitigate damage as much as possible. So clocking is an extra damage for your opponent. So he clocks here. Maybe he doesn't have combo, or he didn't have the pieces for the combo.
He's out 4, it looks like, in his waiting room, so...
So I see the double combo. He has the door here.
Okay. So you just kind of clocked for potentially the gate, potentially for extra combo. Could
I
have
don't
been...
think he drew the gate though. I think he clocked with 2 cards. It was like 2 characters. Okay, triggers a Neo. We do know that he plays 2 Neos from the deck list.
Okay, there's a cancel.
Okay, mills. Just checks that because you don't want to mill too many because your options get limited the more you mill.
Especially considering that he's nearing the end of his deck, so he's probably trying to get to that, like, good refresh rate.
Yeah. So 2 here. Takes it. So we're just looking for another cancel from the slime player and we'll be in a good position.
Even if he
As the
doesn't
Ironwood.
cancel, he does have the setup, I believe, so it would just become a matter of getting the climax, is my guess, unless he has it staying in his hand.
Yeah.
But that's a good cancel, though, like you said.
Yeah. So he is refreshing him without the climax replayer.
Ooh,
So not clocking there, right, would have gave him
2
the
extra
climax back.
looks, yeah.
Yeah. And we'll see if he has to ditch the end of the turn, which means like the clock didn't really do anything.
Hmm, that's kind of an awkward state because now he's got a completely fresh deck, and now he's just relying on the top of his deck basically to do him good.
Oh, refresh the climax though. That's unfortunate.
Uh,
Okay, so he didn't do combo. He just stops at because he's a full hand.
he has pay 1 for the memory
Okay, pay
send.
1 here.
Uh,
Okay, so he didn't add up the second Mina.
that card
Or no, he
will
did. He
go
did.
to memory at the start of this encore. So do you think it's ever okay if he, assuming he has the second CXC coming down, to just play over the Ricky and then just put the power pump in the back so that it fizzles into memory? If that's what he's planning
Um,
for.
I don't think it matters. If he has enough hand, just play okay. Just to like let it go and then kill the runner.
Okay, so it
But
looks
I don't
like
think it matters too much if you like leave it there because his hand looks pretty full. Probably has like 7, 8 hand.
yeah, he should have at least 8, because I think he had 6 at the end of his turn, going for
Okay,
a
so he's
clean
playing a
cut turn.
chump turn. Probably doesn't have climax, which is fine. Just swing through pass here. Your deck's in a pretty good state. You just refresh. You're still at 1, or you're
Uh,
about to refresh. Oh wait, never mind.
no, he's like halfway through his deck. He's
Okay.
out 4, I believe.
Yes, his deck is still pretty good, so you can just swing here.
Oh
Oh,
no,
it's one hand.
he might be going off climax, so he might be just throwing down for damage.
Throw out a nameless story, right? Okay, so he doesn't have. He didn't decided not to swing with it.
Hmm. So he's gonna just go ahead and swing
Two
2,
takes.
and that's a Blake early play healer going down there
Yep.
for power.
Swings. One
Cancel.
is the
Okay.
one.
And then clean cut. I imagine you want to clean cut the memory, because at this point, if you've gone this far, you probably should get the memory, right? So
No, he clean cuts
the Ricky.
the Reiki. The memory always goes to
Oh, okay. It's not
memory.
like
Yeah, it's
Ramorous,
the
yeah,
encore one. Yeah, it's the
yeah,
encore one, not the end of the turn one.
yep,
So he choices there. He chooses the hand, right?
yeah. He added 1 Rimuru so he can hit
Okay.
confirm.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, yeah, this makes more sense. You know, Rimuru or Ramorous versus not Ramorous memory lost art.
Yeah. Remus happens at the end of the turn, and then Shizu happens at encore step.
Yep.
Yep.
So
So replayer still clocks here, which I don't think is correct. because he did get a +2. He could have just played a bomb and swing 3 without clocking, since he is behind in damage.
And then he brainstorms,
And then he
so
brainstorms, so he hits 1. And then he also has the door, which he looks like he's gonna slam and more out of his deck. So
do you think
I don't think that's
playing
like worth
over
it. So he plays an
routine?
Ironwood here too. I guess he's just trying to commit cards that his hand's too full or something, but
Is
his
he
hand
just
wouldn't
trying to
be full
re-auto adjust? Looks like that's a Blake EP, so then he's just gonna go add
because he
Ruby.
plus to what uh he counted once. He only took like 2 damage.
He took 4
Like
damage total.
he took 4. Oh, he took
Yeah.
3.
No, he took 4. 2, 1, 2, and then he canceled
The 1.
the 1.
Okay.
So it looks like he's just going for the Blake. Verifying that he has 2 or less, I'm guessing. Realizing that he probably has more.
Yeah, he definitely has more than 2. Plays combo again. Just try to push the damage because he needs to catch up
Yep. So that's
right
4.
here.
Cancel.
Cancel 1. Okay.
Other
4.
4.
6 is 4 is pretty good.
Taking this
Okay.
one's kind of like you feel a little bit bad, but you're kind of okay with it at the same time situation. In my opinion, it's kind of one of those like I'm gonna need to take some damage at some point, but this could get that's a 3 looks like so. Okay.
Takes his 3 also. Okay. Seems like
So
his deck state is not the greatest, or he was just unlucky.
hmm.
Okay, so immunize for 1, 2.
3
Okay.
grab Blake. So then he'll have double Blake for next turn if he goes for a heal down play. Do you think if he stays a level 2, then the heal down play will pay off for him, or do you think this is something where it could be like not as worth as he thinks it could be?
I think against a choice, the heal down doesn't matter until you're at a 3. Because 3 to 3-1 matters, but then like 2-6 and 2-5, like those don't matter.
Mm.
Because the top end is so good.
Sometimes just extra damage will do you in. So
Yeah, so you might as well just like hope to play combo instead. So there's one in clock 4, 5 out.
yeah, he should be 5 out, and then I believe that was 8 cards that he showed in deck. So rechecking here. Yeah, that's 4, and then 5
Or
with the one in the
yeah.
waiting room. So
Something to notice is that the Mercury from turn 1, or the Neptune from turn 1, has just been in the back row since forever.
well, I imagine that he hasn't exactly had a reason to use it. At the same time, it's also not doing him anything, so.
Yeah, he just basically ditched the card, right?
So. Alright, so starting off with the Ramorous for Xion combo. Probably just some last minute window shopping. Just get your last few pieces so that you have the everything in place.
Yep. Double combo, 2 cards, which means he gets both salvages.
Yeah. Do you think it's more valuable to have Ramorous still alive because he will be swinging into the bomb versus Xion?
So personally, I would read and take the Rick and kill the bomb.
Hmm.
Say
Okay.
Rammers for next turn. Because the bomb does, or the Ricky still kills it.
Yeah. Okay.
First combo. As expected, triggers 2
Cancel.
cancels. Okay, so ours double combo. So each set up. There's one in clock, and then the other one
Is
should
still
be
in stock, so
yeah.
he will have everything set up. I believe he's sided here, or did he? Or
I don't think they probably just haven't reversed it yet.
okay,
Oh, refreshes the climax.
that's what it said. Okay, there we go. There's 2.
Two here.
Okay.
So depending on
And
whether you have triple combo, double combo, choose to bomb or not bomb here. So he bombs.
then
Maybe he
one
wants to
ring
open lane.
rest.
Maybe he doesn't have triple combo.
Oh, wrong placement.
Yep. He gets his member condition for the replay over there.
Yep.
So RWBY has 7 stock, it looks like. Enough for a brainstorm triple combo. Slime player 6 in deck?
Do you think it's
Or
possible that he could go
5?
for a Neo play here? But there'd only be one character coming back from that, so
Yeah. It's probably okay to Neo here. If you
like
think you can kill with a double clock kicks, because double clock kick does skip you lethal because he'll go to 3-1 and then double burn and then a swing for 3 will all be lethal. So
hmm.
it doesn't seem too bad.
Alright, so first up, he's gotta go do his thing. So I imagine that was the refresh. So do you think he just clocks to find the climax here? Because
Uh, yeah, if you clock, you don't have climax for sure, because there's no chance you're living another turn. So you have to go for kill.
let's see.
You might just not have Neo because I think he triggered one early on and he plays 2, so the other one is
Could just
unknown.
be lost somewhere.
You also see 2 Salems in his clock, so he doesn't have stock swap or icy tail effect, which is pretty good right now.
Yep, so he's going for heal down with Blake.
Like into some rubies,
He
because
does
so
have
it
2
means he doesn't
Blade.
have. Okay,
Oh.
so he has the Neo, which means he doesn't have combo.
Hmm.
Let's see what he does here. So he doesn't have the Blake in hand.
Yeah, he had that
Interesting.
one from when he did the Minami.
Yeah, so he has a door in hand. He didn't ditch the door, he ditched the Blake instead.
Hmm.
Okay, so he's gonna summon 1 copy.
Yep.
Oh, oh, he did. Yeah, he summoned it. He plays Ruby. Heals 1.
Play over.
Plays another Ruby.
Bring down the second
Yep.
Ruby. And this is where you just go for.
You slam standby, and then you just swing everything. Or you swing 1. Yep. I hear it's pretty much the game plays itself. You just tap and playing solitaire.
Yep.
One thing about these type of burn combos is that the burn happens first, and then you get the clock kick. So it does matter sometimes, because if you clock kick first, you have the card. Getting clock kick will go to waiting room, but if you burn first, then the clock kick card will go to clock if he takes it.
Yep. So first up, the first 3.
Oh,
Oof.
3 sticks. He just needs 1 more to stick, and the game's over.
I mean, he has 2 shots basically with the
Yep.
Blake Swing and the Ruby itself. So.
This one's, let's see, 3, and that's
Oh
it.
man.
Ruby is just a
Oh.
good finisher, I guess.
Oh, nice. A little bit unfortunate there from him, but yeah. So that was a pretty interesting BO3. Uh, Game 3 kind of ended on a interesting note. I don't imagine that anyone was expecting to kill at that game state. That was just a little bit of Weiss Schwarz at its finest.
Yeah, Slime had the lead, but then mid game, I think he had like two climaxes and like 10, 12 cards and triggered one, so it was a little unfortunate there. Maybe he could have milled better, uh, because his deck was pretty clean, and then the damage he was ahead from just got made up again from the opponent, so there was no advantage there anymore.
But yeah, so overall, RWBY won this little show match 2-1. Nice reverse sweep.
Mr. Steve, yep.
Anything you want to maybe takeaways from this BO3? Just like now that we have 3 games worth of experience seeing RWBY in action a little bit, like what we hope the audience is able to see from these games.
Yeah, so Weiss is best of one, as we all know, and in order to win best of ones, you have to play like super cheese decks sometimes, and like some decks are just really good in best of three formats. RWBY is one of them. Your super consistent deck, similar to Kaguya. I think you're playing the same climax lineup, so you're almost there. Uh, the deck overall is pretty standard. I think it seems like pretty vanilla. You play your level one combo, you play into early play heals, you play into your finisher. The finisher is not as strong as like other finishers because it doesn't extend damage, but it gives you precision damage, which is like the trade-off you get. Uh, as you can see from these last few videos, like level 0 game dictates a lot. Uh, because the amount of stock you get at level 1 does affect how you play your level 1. And Slime did get a better level 1 because they had the 2 stock.
Yeah.
And that's it. Basically how it goes.
So, like, I guess another thing that's kind of something of note is that we kind of got to see 2 usages of Neo, once in game 1 and once in game 3 for kind of the spawn ups. Just something that I imagine that any deck that'll be playing with a Ramorous type or more of a crash board type will have to be more cognizant of is that you do have to keep in mind that those open slots do just lead into getting clock kicked with RWBY, and that's something that you will have to keep in mind in that matchup. Is like what's in your waiting room, what cards can the opponent just throw on the board to punt away. So you know, yeah.
Yeah.
So that about does it for this show match. If you guys like this type of thing, we don't mind doing these type of things. RWBY was a pretty fun set to say the least. But if there are more future sets that we get an opportunity to see more show matches for, just let us know. Oh, in the comments. Thanks, guys, for watching.
Yeah.
All right, it's another video from the